name is Uriel, and I've made a series of tutorial vids for you in which I want to explain SMW flight and everything that's to it. I'm gonna start it slow with takeoff and basic flying. We go into turnaround, sticky flight, before we go to more difficult stuff like precision fly, specific tag, item tag, and even Yoshi flight. I hope you have fun watching this. Hey, in this part of the series we want to talk about very specific tag revolving around takeoffs under certain circumstances, catching bigger in cool setups, how we handle flight on ropes, vines and nets, and some other cool tech like advanced sticky flight setups and reverse floating, belly gliding, and even duck flight. We're damage boosting to get a takeoff. I want to show you this real quick. So far so good. We don't get flight here because takeoff meter has already drained. When we catch the feather, we are no more eligible for getting flight. So that's why we hold right here and jump and Y all the way in the cloud. Okay, that's not in the cloud. Let me try this again. And what you saw me doing there from the cloud there was doing a very small jump, and you saw Luigi getting flight there for a second. You saw that, maybe you missed it, but believe me, because I still have cape. We got iframes from the first jump and the flight, and right after that, when we're jumping again on the munches, we're getting flight again because our takeoff meter is still going. I show you again, because it is a very specific setup, but can't be bad to know how this one works. This way we can keep flight. Now the rest would be get a dive from here, but I don't want to show you how to play this game now. I just wanted to show you one damage boost setup. And speaking of setup for flight that is kind of unusual, yeah. This one is very unusual too, because you see me, I might have missed the rope there, but I got flight again. The same is true with water, like you can get flight out of water again. What happens here is your P meter is full, you're jumping, you have flight, and once you jump out of the water again, you still have flight again. And as you saw me doing there, you can even jump left. If you, before you have flight, have the same direction again. And that brings us to something else you can do. When you're on a rope, or vine or net for that matter, doesn't change, and you go into water, you keep your flight state if you're flying when you grab it. And one thing you can see very clearly now is Luigi has two different hand types. On the left he has a skin colored hand, I want to say. On the right you see his white glove. When we are looking from his back, the white glove determines which way he will look when we're jumping. Like, I do definitely know now if I'm jumping while I'm out of the water, otherwise I'm not flying. If I'm jumping, that he will look right. If the hand would be on the left side, he would look left. That is some way where you can manipulate in specific setups the way you're looking, even with vanilla turnaround, because this is a vanilla turnaround patch. And otherwise you wouldn't know where he's looking. See, I was looking up there, and that was done. I just want to show you, there's a better level to look at this. I think this one, yeah. This one has a lot of vines and stuff like this. Like here. By the way, if you let go of Y while you're holding the vine or something, doesn't matter, because the game checks it again when you let go of the rope. Now I'm looking to the right. And now I'm looking to the left. I got lucky on the turnaround there. You see, the white hand determines where I'm going. We go out of this one. There is something else I want to show you that is... actually, this one is in the practice room. And that is what happens... Oh, there's a level. I can show you the level. The level is a lot cooler. What happens if we're jumping on a feather while we're falling with P-speed? We were jumping and we had the conditions for takeoff meter. So our takeoff meter starts to drain once we're jumping. And now we land on the feather. And because Mario is in a, or Luigi rather, is in a falling state and has a certain speed. I'm not sure what the actual value is, but he has to fall quick enough. The game thinks that you're in dive storage, but because you're not actually diving down there, the game now recognizes, hey, moment, you're not in a flight, you're not in the right flight phase. Because you're not in phase 6, the game thinks, oh, let's put you to phase 1, and phase 1 means going upwards with the cape. And now I said the game thinks we do have dive storage. That means we get rewarded with big air. That's why if you do it like this, you get this big going up section, like when you were, like after you were pulling down, or when you do a sticky, something like this. And let me show you something else here, for example. We were talking about double pumping. This is a very good section to practice double pumping because we're falling here through a one tile and we have 0 speed coming down. And we don't have much room on the bottom there. You can make this without double pumping. That double pumping makes it a lot easier. Like the other way you can do there is the other thing you can do there is, by the way, it's patch turnaround. I'm dead. Yeah. This again, and here you want to do double pumping, or if you have the time and know that it happens, it's also possible, for example, at these walls here, you hold backward and then you just do the tap input. But that's technically not a double pump. But it fulfills the same purpose. Yeah, and something like keeping flight happens to ropes, vines and nets all the same. The only thing that is different there is on a rope you can't hold an item. Otherwise you could even hold an item there for this, but only on the normal conditions how to hold an item. And yeah. That's it for this. By the way, one thing I forgot during takeoff, I just do it very quickly now is you're not, yeah. If you have P-speed running from a wall, takeoff works the same, basically. And since you're falling very quickly there, because of the direction you're jumping, you fall down. Something else we can do with takeoff is something I want to show you now. If you still have takeoff meter left, it is possible to take it into a door, or that is not a good save. We'll try this again. It is possible to take it into a door or a pipe. And that's what we're gonna do here now. We should still have takeoff meter, and that means we can fly. We have a couple of frames left there for jumping, and as soon as we fall, we hit flight again. Something very cool we can do, and that is a trick that is only working with vanilla turnaround, with patch turnaround. At least it's only working reliably. And believe me, I played an unpatched version of this game. Like this is Le Plume. Le Plume has unpatched turnaround. Can you open the door for me? Thank you. Le Plume normally has patch turnaround. There's a version without it that makes the upcoming setup very, very hard. Like, you wanna spin here once, and now you see me floating backwards. And that is a reverse float, and that is one way that you can go over minus 13 of speed, because you're not actually changing your speed. The way you do it is you hold backwards, then you spin, and then you hold forwards. And it's a very fluid motion, difficult to explain. And what happens afterwards is a so-called belly slide. Let me do this again and try to talk a little bit more about the belly slide. Belly slide is a very cool tag. I'm holding backwards, spinning, and then as I'm spinning, I'm holding forwards. And belly slide is a very specific state. Let me put a save state there, if I'm doing it correctly. Oh my god. Yeah, this should be good. I'm grabbing the shell now. The shell is not essential for belly sliding, let me just say this. But you want to protect the shell. And the way it looks at the beginning is that I don't have belly sliding because I catch an item now, I'm item flying, but it's still belly sliding. This is a horrible save state because you're not sliding high enough. Belly slide lets you kill enemies, as you saw with the shell there, with the saw there. Belly slide lets you kill enemies, and it has one other thing. You can't go out of belly sliding mode unless you're jumping with B. When you do a normal jump, you go out of the belly sliding mode. Damn it. Let me get there for a second again. Wait a second. Oh my god. I know it doesn't look like it, but I've speedrun this game a little bit, and I normally should know how to do this pretty well, but I'm a little bit rusty for now. Okay, I think this one should be a good save. Yeah. This is what happens if we don't hold jump, going on the no block. Now let us do the same with holding jump. Look how high we go. And if we actually let go in the air, we can time our jumps, we can float, and we keep this belly sliding state all the way until Luigi or Mario slow down up to 0 speed then. And if we don't hold B here before the note block, okay, I did it frame perfect there. Like, if you're grabbing here, you go out of belly sliding mode and you can't kill the saw up there. Like, you can make it to here, no problem, but you're not getting through this here unless you're... It is not a way you should try out. So what you want to do is, before your belly sliding, you hold jump, or something else that works is you grab B while you're pausing. Something else I haven't talked about too much so far yet is something that's only viable when we're playing with patched turnaround, and that is a reversed float. Basically, you're turning around and hold backwards, so you have the lower gravity from being in the backwards floating state, but because you were turning around, you can keep your forward speed, so you travel a lot further and quicker than you would normally do. Basically, it's just hold forwards and keep holding forwards when you do the turnaround. Like this. I'm gonna try to do this again. You get the idea. So we've talked about sticky fly, air catching, dive storage, keeping fly on ropes and stuff like this now for some time. And I want to show you a very cool level of Le Plume, where we can do some very cool stuff with the things we just learned now. We're keeping flight here, look at our hands. The hands determine which way we're going. Le Plume has patch turnaround, so we could fix it if we need to, but it's not necessarily. We have all the time in the world here. Set it up, look where the hand is going, left hand is right hand is left. That way we are jumping the right way. And here we use bouncing of an enemy. And now there's something I really cool want to show you. Let me remember how the level works for a second. I did not check my hand there because you can just turn around and you have all the time in the world. And what we want to do now, I'm gonna set it up for a second and then I'm gonna explain what we want to do. Okay, we're in a nearly falling state, so if I press forward now, we go into a dive bomb state or phase 6, whatever you want to call it, very quickly. And what that means is that we have big air stored. I can tell you now, there's a rope down there that we'll hang on to. And normally, when you go into this mode onto a rope, I will show you what happens. You get a small jump. Like you saw the small jump there, but after the first jump, we're gonna play a little bit around with this now. Oh, good, I have a safe state. Small jump, but we have big air stored, like I just said. So that means once we're moving forward, we will actually move upwards and release the big air. And what happens now if we're landing with a good cape state? That means we are essentially able to get something like 2 times big air release. You saw how much height I gained. Normally you're meant to climb the rope there, or go with the rope and the rope brings you up. But you can skip a large part of this section if you do it just like this. Let me show you again. Do a dive storage here, jump to get your cape state fixed, jump up, push forward, and I'm doing it to the right side because I want to avoid the red death block there. I want to show you a really cool level from Albatross here that has focus on sticky fly and another tag that you just see, which is called an air tag, an air catch. It both relies on the same thing, that we have to have dive storage, and that can't be released. So a sticky flight, you already know now what it is, and I want to show you now what an air catch is. Basically, you're facing against the wall coming from a sticky or a similar setup, and you press forward on the way up. You have to press forward before you go to your maximum height, and what will happen is you get your big air released and you gain extra height. Let's take a look what it looks like. We can do this again. You see me pressing forward before Mario starts moving up. I'm going to put a save here because I want to show you something else. 2. And I put a save here now. What will come now is another sticky, but with a cool twist. It's a sticky ladder. I want to call it like this. I don't know if there's another name. Basically, you're going one tile down, one tile down, one tile down. And the way you want to do this, in my opinion, is you want to get slow, that you can actually react to the blocks that you need to climb down. And you just let go for a second of backwards. And what will happen then is, let's take a look together. I know what happened there. The goalpost is below this and somehow I triggered the goalpost there. But what you actually want to do here is this. Now we're going to put a safe state here because I want to show you something. When we slow down now from the sticky enough that we drop off the wall, we still have the big air stored. Well, that means as soon as we move forward from dropping off, it will get released and we get another big push. So that means something like this. And I knew that there's a side exit. I just wanted to show you what happens. So basically, this way, this side gets released. And this is, by the way, a very difficult section for sticky fly. You have to be very precise. You actually have only one block to get it correctly. One other thing I want to show you about sticky flight is the assisted sticky with enemies. Basically, if you're diving or hitting an enemy and you're below blocks that allow you to sticky, you will get a free sticky. Like, let me just show you. We're diving on some Coopers here, and if you pull back while you're diving there, you will get an automatic sticky. But if you pull back too early, this will happen. Let's try this again. We're diving on the Coopers, and we get a sticky from it. The only thing you can't do is do the sticky inputs there on your own. Like, if you're pulling up there and get a sticky flight, you will die like this. But as soon as you're hitting the Coopers with this, you're good. One more time. Sticky flight. Hey, I want to show you a very specific thing that looks very scary here for now. It's a one tile gap, and if you try to cross this one like this, you'll be at a bad time. It is possible, but it is extremely difficult, and there's a much easier way for this. Remember how we talked about sticky flight? But how do you get sticky flight here? Like, one thing you can do is actually line it up and try to hit it. But as you see, that's not exactly free. It is possible, but you don't have to do it this way. There's another way that's way easier. You can hold forward here, and once you have dive storage, you can pull backwards. The air can't get released, and if you move forward at the right spot, it is possible to get a sticky fly from the setup. Come on. This was the sticky. Another thing I want to show you is how to fast dive, or so-called triple tap. It is possible to get a dive bomb in a very narrow space. Up there you see a 3 tile gap, and normally you can't get a dive bomb in there. What will happen if you just fly up there and hold right is this. That's not a dive bomb, but we need a dive bomb to kill that Monty up there. Then how do we do this? Well, you can actually go quicker through the phases if you're tapping. Quick. You have to tip very quick in the direction you want to go. And what it looks like is this. Yeah, takes sometimes. You can get a dive bomb like this. That's what it should look like. Hope you liked the video. I hope you give the other videos a go, and if you learned something, I'm very happy about it. Anyway, see you soon, and bye bye.